Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga. I'm Grace. So happy that you're here. We're on week 3 of the yoga teacher training, the 300-hour yoga teacher training, and we're on the Pran Vayu, also called Prana Vayu, but they're all called Prana Vayus, all 5 of them. So to distinguish from all 5 Prana Vayus in this one particular Prana Vayu, we'll call it the Pran Vayu. This is a beautiful Vayu. So we were in the navel area, and we're moving up to the heart. So Pran Vayu is the home is in the heart and the chest area, the whole chest area. And so we're going to be doing back bends. It's going to be a back bend practice. We're going to add a twist in and some forward folds and some different things too. So we won't be doing back bends for an hour. That would be very good for our back. We'll do some counter posing, but it'll be a back bend focused practice, a little more effort. This is a sun practice. This is the ha in the hatha, so it's a more effort based with the ha practice and the sun practice. This is the pran is the element of air, and the Pran Vayu feeds all the Vayus. So this is a very important Vayu. And it makes a lot of sense to me because it's in the heart. And when we're, that heart chakra, when that heart chakra is wide open and charged, it's like the generator for the whole energy body. So I can see as it being the home of the heart, being that one that feeds all the Vayus. So let's go into centering and begin our practice. Finding your seat, whether that's hero, Sukhasana, easy pose. Maybe you want to be in a lotus, whatever works for you. Find something comfortable for just opening meditation and visualization. Feeling that earth and the parts of your body that are connected to the earth, and allow your body to sink into that support and acknowledge that support of the planet. And beginning to breathe into the belly as we trigger this relaxation response, the parasympathetic nervous system. Deep belly breaths. As you bring your awareness to the breath in the belly, maybe you notice that it naturally slows and deepens. And let's move into some 3-part yogic breaths. Inhaling into the belly, the ribs, and all the way up into the chest, this home of the Pran Vayu, and even the clavicular, opening up, maybe bringing the shoulders back, pausing at the top of the breath, and then releasing, and everything go. And inhaling into the belly, like a wave, the ribs, and the chest and the heart. Opening up that heart, and pausing at the top of the breath, and then letting it all go. And let's do 2 more. I'll let you do that on your own at your own pace. Pausing at the top of the breath. One more breath. Beautiful. And taking a moment to notice the prana in the body, activating that three-part yogic breath, letting the body return to its natural rhythm, continuing to breathe into that lower abdomen, abdominal breathing. If it naturally moves into three-part yogic breath, that's okay too. But making sure it starts in the belly. Keep that relaxation response triggered. And diving in a little further, noticing this manamaya kosha, this aliveness, this energy, the emotions, what's going on deep inside you, withdrawing your attention from the external. Basking in the nectar of pratyahara, inner aliveness and sensations. Feeling into it, basking in that felt sense. And then taking a moment now to set an intention for your practice in the positive, repeating it and visualizing it as it is manifested here now in this present moment and feeling those emotions. And releasing that intention with a this or better, this or better, this or better. Beautiful. We're going to start standing up. Probably take this off. Warm in here. So we're going to start standing up and we're going to move into Surya Namaskara C, Sun Salutation C. And we're going to be kind of exaggerating those back bends as we move through. So coming to the front of your mat, feet are hip width apart. You can take the fists, bring them right between the feet to make sure that's about hip width apart. And let's move into our loops, getting into this perfect alignment for our mountain. So our first is ankle loop. So feeling the arches lift. You can lift the toes to help those arches lift. Then moving into shin loop as you feel the calves engage. The energy is going up the calves and down the front of the shins. And then thigh loop starts right below the knee. Lift of the knee. Feel these quadriceps engage, relaxing the buttocks and the hamstrings, and feeling the energy go down the hamstrings. Pelvic loop. We're going to bring this pelvis right into neutral. I always have to tuck that tailbone to remind my body to do that. And then our kidney loop, lifting of the ribs. It's coming up and down the back. And we're going to go up again in our shoulder loop. So it's going to come up right between the lips. So the chin is going to come parallel to the floor and it goes back. So feel the chin come back, feel the shoulders go back and down the back. So the shoulders drop down away from the ears. And then feel that skull loop right here in the center of the crown, and it lifts up to the heavens. So maybe you grow a little bit taller. So taking a moment to feel these loops, these engagements, a little micro bend in the knee, lift of the knee and that thigh loop, keeping that pelvis neutral, maybe even engaging that mula bandha, locking and sealing in the energy. And on your next inhale, bringing those arms up, you can come into giant angel wings. And when you get to the top, we're going to move into a little extension of the spine, a little back bend. So lifting the heart to activate that Pran Vayu. Allow the head to be in alignment with the spine. That spine is extending in the front. And let's take a couple deep breaths here in this back bend, this very gentle beginning back bend. One more breath here in your mountain, extended mountain. And exhaling into forward fold, hinging at those hips, giant angel wings, hinging at the hips. And when you can't seem to hinge any longer, then allow that spine to relax and round. Bringing the hands either to blocks or to the earth, relaxing the head. Taking a couple breaths in your forward fold, Uttanasana. And on your next inhale, we're going to lift into half forward fold. And in half forward fold, feel that head reaching out away from the body and that spine, creating some space in those spinal processes. Exhaling back down into your forward fold. Bringing the hands to the earth, we're going to move into high lunge. So on your next inhale, lifting the head, let's take the right leg back behind us. And we're in a high lunge, Asana. Front knee is right over the ankle. The knee is lined up between the second toe and the third. We're going to square those hips. Beautiful. And let's bring the arms up. And let's go into a gentle extension of the spine, lifting the heart, activating that Pran energy. Activating that Pran energy in the heart center so it can feed and nourish all the other Vayus. The energy is coming into the heart, feeding all the Vayus, receiving. And one more deep breath. Engage that Mula Bandha. And on your exhale, coming down, bringing the hands frame that front foot, and we're going to move into downward facing dog. Both feet back, hips are up. Allow the head to be between the arms. My ears can feel my arms gently. Heels are coming towards the earth. Thighs are back, gentle tuck of the tailbone. Fingers spread. And feel this pose. Maybe a little walking the dogs, stretching those calves, keeping the breath flowing. Maybe engaging that Mula Bandha to contain and lock in, seal the energy into the body. I like to engage any of the bandhas, sealing up. Coming back to center. We're going to come into our plank position. And we're going to move into chaturanga, knees, chin and chest, and swooping up. And let's come into an up dog to start. We'll move in. Our next one will move into a cobra. Feeling that extension of the spine and seeing if you can open that chest and that prawn energy and breathe. Engaging that pelvic floor gently. Mula Bandha. One more breath. Beautiful. Curling the toes under and lifting those hips up. Back into your downward facing dog. Feeling the heels coming to the earth. The heart, the head's right between the arms. Gentle internal rotation of the upper thighs. Gentle external rotation of the upper arms. And breathe. One more breath. Next, inhale, lifting the head, bringing that right foot between the front hands into a lunge on this side, Asana. So now my right knee's right over my right ankle. The knee lined up with that second toe, maybe the third. Squaring those hips. My left leg is back, so I'm going to bring that left hip forward a little, right back just a little bit. Left heel pressing towards the earth. Beautiful. I'm going to bring those arms up. You can either do big angel wings or just bring them straight and moving into that extension of the spine. A gentle back bend, lifting that heart, inviting that prawn energy, receiving air, element of air, and breathe. Bringing the energy all throughout the entire body. Movement of crystallization and circulating energy. And inhale, reaching up. And exhale into forward fold. Bring that back leg forward. Hinging forward and relaxing. Next, inhale, coming to half forward fold. Exhaling down, forward fold. Inhaling, lifting the head, lifting the heart, coming all the way back. We're going to do one more, moving into that nice back bend. Our extended mountain. And the next exhale, forward fold. Feeling both feet rooted into the earth. That's your foundation. Relaxing the head into Uttanasana, forward fold. Next inhale, coming into half forward fold. The hands can be just below the knees or your fingertips can be on the earth. Important thing is that spine is extending away from the body. That's that line of energy. Exhaling down, bringing that left leg back. And let's drop that knee. Let's move into some lunge rocks because they're always fun. Lunging forward, finding a gentle extension of the spine. You'll be moving, making some micro movements as you sink that hip down to the floor and feel that hip opening. Keeping that bandha gently engaged and the breath flowing. And straightening that front leg as you lunge back. Feeling a nice stretch on the back leg muscles of that forward leg, maybe flexing and extending the foot, keeping the breath flowing, bandhas gently engaged, mastering that energy. And taking a few more rocks on your own pace, your own rhythm, enjoying being and moving and having all your awareness in the body. And coming back to center, we're going to take that left leg back. So we're in table for a moment. Let's move into some cat-cow. So as we move into our cow, we're going to arch that back. We're going to feel that extension and opening up the heart. Shoulders are back. Feel that gentle activation of Pran. And then on your exhale, moving into cat, tucking the tailbone, rounding the back. Relaxing the head, looking in towards the thighs and the belly. And moving back and forth at your own pace, noticing that flexion in cat and that extension and that little bit of Pran back and opening in your cow. And coming back to center, curling those toes under, lifting the hips into your downward facing dog again. A little walking the dog. Let's lift that right leg up behind us in three-legged dog. And then bending that knee and opening up the hip. And feel that heart opening as you feel that gentle extension of the spine. It's a little bit of a back bend here, and breathe. One more breath. And releasing down. And taking that opposite leg up, the left leg up. Three-legged dog with on the left side. Bending that knee and opening up, finding that gentle extension of the spine. Little twist as well, and breathe. If you want to go into wild thing, you do that as well. You bring that back leg down and the left arm up. And coming back. Beautiful. And we're going to move into our plank pose. And the invitation is if you'd like to do a few push-ups here, you can drop the knees and do half push-ups, strengthening those arms. We're in the hot sun, a little more effort of the practice. When you're done, coming down to the earth. We're going to move into our cobra. So we're going to feel that pelvis pressing into the earth. Hands are stretched, fingers are stretched and right by the shoulders. And on the next inhale, inhaling up, opening the heart. Feel that gentle back bend. And breathe. Back strengthener as well. Activating that Pran energy. Beautiful. And coming down and relaxing the head to one side or the other. And allowing yourself to sink into this earth energy and inviting the earth to allow you to absorb and receive, filling you up with earth energy, vitality, anything you may need from the planet. And turn the head to the other side for a couple breaths. And then coming back to center. And we're going to do a couple more variations while we're on our belly. So bringing those hands out and the feet out. And we're going to lift the right arm and the left arm and the right leg, or opposites, and feel them stretching away from the body. Pelvis is pressing into the earth, and breathe. One more breath. And releasing down. Relax the head for breath. On the next inhale, lifting that head gently, the right arm, extending it away from the body, and the left leg. Feeling that nice foundation of the pelvis, pubic bone pressing into the earth, and breathe. One more breath. Relaxing down. Taking your hands and see if you can just take a little pillow and relax your head. And we're moving into one more back opener on our belly. This is bow. So only do this if it's in your practice. We've done a lot of back bend warming up already. So hopefully your body is nice and ready for it. First thing we're going to do, if it doesn't feel right, remember in any practice is we back off if there's any pain, and you can take breaks at any time. We play the edge, so we're not pushing, forcing, or striving. We're always allowing the body gently to open, finding our gentle edge in the practice. Always in that feel so good zone. And so what we're going to do is bring the hands to the ankles, feeling that pelvis, that pubic bone, pressing and connecting to the earth. That's our foundation. And then on your next inhale, lifting, pressing the feet into the hands and lifting the body up into your bow. Feeling that back bend, that heart opening, that prana energy being activated. And breathe. One more breath. Bottom of the exhale, releasing and moving into a child's pose. Opening up the knees, gently moving into child's pose for a couple breaths of relaxation. And coming back up into table pose, curling the toes, moving into downward facing dog. A little walking the dog, dropping one heel down, opposite knee bends in. And breathe. Relaxing the head between the arms. Fingers spread. Gentle, slight external rotation of the upper arms. Coming back to center and looking between the hands And walk, step, or jump that right leg between the hands, dropping that left knee, the back knee, and we begin our rocks. We're lunging forward, feeling that left hip opening up, maybe making some gentle movements, noticing the sensations, always staying in that feel-good zone. Mula Bandha is gently engaged and active, keeping the breath flowing, feeling a little gentle extension of the spine. Just lunge forward, and then on your next exhale, straightening that front leg. You lunge back. Flexion of the spine. You can flex and extend the front foot, noticing the beautiful sensations, and breathe. Walking back and forth, your own pace, being absorbed in your own sensation and experience, honoring this body, playing that edge as you very gently allow the body to open up. Coming back to center, curling those left toes under the back leg and straightening, lifting that up, then bringing that foot forward into forward fold. You can do some options. You can grab the elbows here. You can bring the hands behind the calves. Bring the hands on the back. Let's inhale into a half forward fold. Exhaling down. Inhaling, lifting that head, lifting the heart. As we complete our Surya Namaskara C, moving into that nice extended Tadasana mountain pose. Taking a breath here. That mountain, opening up the heart, allowing that prana energy to be activated. And then let's exhale. Coming down into forward fold. And let's move into a standing yoga mudra as we clasp the hands behind our back and open them up, open the shoulders up. Noticing those beautiful sensations in the shoulders. Taking a couple breaths here as we honor that heart. Yoga Mudra is honoring the heart, as the heart is the highest organ in the body. So we take a moment to honor that Pran Vayu and that heart home of Pran Vayu, the chest, the heart. And breathe. Beautiful. Releasing the hands. And we're going to come up onto our knees. Getting prepared for a Camel Ustrasana pose. Another nice back bend. Pran Vayu activator. And so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into that pelvic loop. So gently tuck, bring that pelvis to neutral, gently tuck the tailbone under. Feel that space in that lumbar spine. If we have that tailbone that crunches up that lumbar, so we're going to tuck it under to make a lot of space. So when we go into our back bend in this camo, our lumbar have lots of space. So bring in the hands right on the small of the back, beside those lumbar spine. Let's first open up the chest, lift that heart center. And we're going to try to keep those knees over the hips, over the knees. So we might move out, but try to move back a little as we move into it. As you lift the heart, begin to feel that extension of the spine, gentle back bend, head is in alignment with the spine. And feeling where it feels comfortable. This might be your pose, your camel right here is plenty good. Elbows are kind of coming in towards each other instead of flopping out. Chest is wide open and lifted up. If you like, you can come down to your heels, or you can come up onto your toes to lift those heels up off the earth a little bit. Bring the hands to the heels. And now I need to try to move those hips back over the knees. And breathe. Feel that beautiful heart opening, that activating of Pran. And gauge the bandhas and breathe. Bring in the prana and the life force. One more breath here. Beautiful. Your next inhale, coming up, releasing those feet and moving into a child's pose and taking a couple breaths, opening those knees so the belly can rest in between the knees. And just taking a few breaths in your child's pose, maybe shifting your head from one side to the other, having it nice directly in the center, using your hands for a pillow. Bringing your awareness to the heart center, that chest, that home of Pran Vayu, noticing the sensation and the aliveness. Your next inhale coming up. Before we go on to our back, let's just do one balancing pose. So let's do a boat balancing pose, and you can remain in your half boat if that works for you, or you can be in a full boat. And we're gonna do our best to take a few breaths here. It's a little balancing pose. It's a little bit of effort because we're in the sun, activating this Pran Vayu. So balancing on those sits bones, feel that end of that sacrum and that tailbone and those sits bones, and just feel that foundation, balancing on that. And let's take the feet and lift them up halfway. This is the halfway version. And if you remain here, that's okay. The legs are parallel to the floor and we're balancing on the sits bones. If you'd like to go into the full boat pose, straightening out those legs, arms in the sides, feeling that heart opening and looking up gently, and breathe. Engage that Mula Bandha. One more breath. Beautiful. Moving back into that variation and coming down. Beautiful job. Scoot to the front of your mat and let's do a little rocks, spinal rocks. If you have a hard floor, just coming gently down onto your back. If you have enough cushion, so it's safe to roll on your back, I invite you to do that. And then coming on your back. And let's move the hips a little bit. Knees just wiggle around a little, releasing anything. And let's move into a half shoulder stand. So you can bring those knees up, and then you can lift the hips, bring those hands right to the hips, turn them up. Feet should be right above the face. Adjust that neck so it's comfortable. Be looking right up at the toes and breathe. One more breath here. You'd like to hinge over into a plow. Then coming into a nice little ball and bringing the hands to the earth as you gently, one vertebrae at a time, start to come down. Beautiful. Extending those legs out, taking a moment of breath here or two, noticing the sensations. And we're going to move now into Matsyasana, a fish. So first thing to do is to bring the hands are face, palms down on the earth, and bring them underneath the buttocks. And then snuggle those arms and those elbows nice and close to the body, pressing into the elbows and lifting up the heart. The head comes off the earth, heart is wide open, beautiful, and then relax, gently relax the head down to the earth and feeling that beautiful opening of the heart chakra, the heart, the chest, and that Pran Vayu energy fully active. And breathe. Activating all the other prana Vayus, receiving that energy into the heart and letting it circulate throughout the entire body. Couple 3-part yogic breaths. At the very bottom. The next inhale, let's press into those elbows, lift up again, straighten that spine and the head, and allow yourself to gently come down, releasing the hands from underneath the buttocks, and receive the pose. Absorb that prana energy. Beautiful. We're going to move into a supine knee down twist before we move into our final pose, which is our bridge. So I'm going to invite you to have the left leg straight out, right knee is up. Bring those hips over to the right a little as you bend that right knee, bringing it over to the left. Left hand can guide it over to the left. Right arm is out 90 degrees, turning your head to gaze out over those right fingertips. Bringing that spinal column into a beautiful twist in the cervicals, thoracic, and lumbar spine. And bask in this nectar. Fully present to the sensations in your body. One more breath here. Beautiful. Releasing that right leg, coming back to center. Taking a breath here in the center. Noticing the aliveness in your body. Let's take that right leg out. Left knee is up. Bring those hips to the left a little bit as you bend the left knee and bring it over to the right. Right hand can guide that left knee over. Left arm is out 90 degrees, turning the head to gaze out over those left fingertips. Breathe and bask in all the beautiful sensations. One more breath. Coming back to center. Taking a breath here. Noticing the aliveness, the vibrancy within your body. That dynamic energy field. We're going to move into our last pose and then we'll do a couple releases and savasana. So knees are up, both feet are on the earth. And let's begin with our two-legged table, pressing into the hips, lifting up halfway. And you can just hold it, or if you want to make some gentle movements here. And the next exhale, coming all the way down. Taking a breath as we prepare for our bridge, this last heart opening back bend pose. Wherever you are in your breath, exhaling completely. The next inhale, pressing into the feet, lifting those hips, clasping the hands underneath you, coming up onto the shoulders as you begin to bring the back into extension, arching the back. Adjust your chin so it's comfortable. Heart is open. And that beautiful opening of the chest and the heart. Engage those bandhas and bring in the life force with the breath. And one more deep breath. Bottom of the exhale, releasing the hands, releasing the shoulders, coming all the way down onto your back, allowing the lumbar, sacrum, and the tailbone to release and receive. Bringing your awareness and your mind into that heart chakra, that chest area, noticing the aliveness there. That Pran Vayu activated, feeding all the other Vayus. Beginning to move those knees side to side. A couple releases. Maybe you want to move into your hula, swiveling those hips. Maybe hip pointers. Maybe a little cat cow on the floor, finding what your body's calling for. Maybe single knee drop. Bring one knee at a time into the center. And finishing up those releases and bringing those knees into the chest, rocking back and forth, releasing that lower back. Bringing those hands to the outer edges of the feet, bringing those knees nice and wide, and pulling down our last hip opener in baby. Mula Bandha engaged, and breathe. And then moving into happy baby or any last little pose or stretch your body's wanting, any little wiggles. Prepare for our savasana as we receive and absorb this practice, this Pran Vayu energy. When you're ready, coming into your savasana pose, maybe your legs are up the wall. If you're laying just flat on your back, palms up is a nice way to receive all that practice. Finding a comfortable position. If you need to put a blanket on or a sweatshirt or socks, taking care of yourself and nurturing yourself. And letting your body completely relax, releasing all the tension in all the muscles, sinking into the earth. Inviting all the physical systems, the heart, the lungs, the skin, all the digestive organs, reproductive organs, everything to relax, and invite that nervous system and that brain to calm and relax. Allowing all the energy systems to integrate, be absorbed as we rest in silent stillness, and I'll bring you back. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly. Beginning to message to your entire being that you're coming back. Wiggle fingers and toes. Hi, Sander. And stretching out the arms and the legs. Rolling over to one side or the other, taking a breath, noticing all the shifts in energy, fluids, sensations. When you're ready, coming up to a seated position, our closing. Finding a nice comfortable seat, easy pose, Sukhasana, hero. Hi, Sander. Taking a moment to check in and notice the sensations, notice the state of mind, the emotions, notice everything that's going on inside of you in deeper levels, energetically, emotionally, vibrationally, even physically. And bring yourself back to that intention that you set at the very beginning of practice. And I think that present moment, the sensations, the joy, the emotions you feel, having that alive in your life right now. And releasing that intention with a this or better, this or better. And we'll close the practice with the Namaste prayer. Bring in the hands in Anjali Mudra in front of your heart. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, light, truth, and peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, Ecstatic Yoga Studio. Please join our yoga teacher trainings and retreats. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day.